This is America Expuesta. America Expuesta. With Josue and Christopher Peña. Welcome to another episode.
Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Muy buenos días. Estamos acá reunidos desde otro canal en Salt Lake City, Utah, transmitiendo para Latinoamérica y para la comunidad hispana alrededor de los Estados Unidos y Canadá. Soy Josue Peña y estamos acá compartiendo un episodio más con aventuras, con historias que les van a motivar y les van a inspirar a ser mejores. Este día traemos un invitado especial que él es un profesional en las ventas que ha trabajado por más de 20 años en la industria de seguridad y de puerta a puerta, que en lo que en inglés se traduce como door to door. Entonces estamos acá y le damos la bienvenida a nuestro querido amigo Billy Speirs.
How's it going?
Hi, Billy. Say hi to your audience in Latin America.
Hey, how's it going? I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Bill. So, for the first time that I met you, you were a friendly person, very kind, and I didn't know that you was such a successful professional and very humble in a very friendly way. Most people in our countries think that most famous, more successful people are not in that way very friendly.
I don't know, man. That's just how I grew up. I'm no better than anybody else, for sure.
Yeah, okay. So tell us about your experience. What do you do for work? How's life for you?
Yeah, it's good. For the last 20 years, I'm 42, and the last 20 years I've been doing door-to-door sales. I'm a regional manager. I sold home security. We went door to door and we sold cameras, sold alarm systems door to door. I've hired thousands of people that have worked for me. In the last 20 years, we've installed my downlines installed over 75,000 homes. We've installed home security accounts. So my knowledge in selling just door to door is immense. It's all I've done. It's all I know. Went to college at Weber State University in Ogden, Utah. I heard that it was in 2001, I started going to school, and then I realized that while I was knocking doors, I realized that there was a university that had professional sales as a program that you could go and get your 4-year degree. And so I ended up doing that, and in 2005 I graduated and realized that I'm in sales, and that's what I'm really good at. I'm good at motivating and letting people see a bigger vision in what they see in themselves. And I just kind of ran with that. And now I'm actually in a transition where the last 6 months I've actually been selling solar. And the reason why I changed was there's so much money that's in solar that you can make. And so I just realized that it's where I needed to be at.
So explain us a little bit more about what is door-to-door sales, because most people in our countries doesn't know what is that. They think that sales is a process that is only something that happened in a business meeting or in a conference or maybe in an office, but not door-to-door. Explain me a little bit more about your profession and how is the way that you earn money, doing door-to-door sales?
Yeah. I started, I guess really, once you realize that sales is everything, sales is in communication and how you actually just talk with people. Once I realized that, I realized that sales didn't just need to be in a business setting. It could actually be at your home. It can be anywhere. A sale can happen anywhere. And so really what I saw is that what kind of motivated me was that there's money that you can actually do without having a knowledge or a previous profession or knowledge. You could actually just start from ground zero where you know nothing and actually can learn how to sell. And it's something that you learn. It's something that you're not born with. I wasn't born being an amazing salesman. I wasn't born closing people, trying to sign paperwork and trying to get money from them. I was a farmer. I grew up on a farm just here, just not far away, about 2 miles away from you guys. I grew up on a farm, and my communication skills were none. I knew nothing how to communicate. But once I realized that that there was an opportunity to make really good money, make a living, make a career out of it, I realized that if I just put the time in, that I would learn how to sell, and that's what happened. With sales, and I guess really is what I do is there are products that everyone wants, and it can be just at the home. And so that's when I realized you don't have to go to businesses and just go straight to businesses and be in a business setting. You can actually go to people's homes, and you can see things that where they need better opportunities, and that's really where the sales come. Is you just show them better opportunities to save money and to have a better life for themselves.
Thank you, Bill. So, what make you think, or what make you change from career? Because you grow up in a farm background, and maybe you have a good living, like, I don't know, but what make you change or take that step further away from farm and start doing business?
Well, I wanted to make a living. I guess growing up as a kid, I didn't have everything. I didn't have all the fancy stuff. I didn't have the nice shoes. I remember just getting like hand-me-downs or just using holes in all my clothes. And so it was there when I realized that I wanted to give my kids something better than I had, an opportunity where they didn't have to worry about money or stress about it. Because I remember as a little kid crying because I didn't have any clothes, for school. It was all old clothes, and everybody else had new clothes. And it was then when I realized I needed to change something. I needed to do better. And so when an opportunity came where I saw that you could go out and you could make a really good living in just a short amount of time, but you have to go door to door, I was like, I'm in. I want to do this. I can do this.
So you weren't afraid of showing people doors and say your pitch and...
I was afraid.
You was afraid.
It's scary. It really is. Like, to say that it's not, like, even now after 20 years, I have to take a couple deep breaths before I knock on a door, just to kind of get my mindset right. I mean, it's human nature. It's uncomfortable. But when you get uncomfortable, that's when things start changing. And that's when I saw, is like, I was doing uncomfortable things and I was growing. And I just got better because I was doing things that wasn't the norm. It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't what everyone else was doing. But then what I saw was the opportunity was the sky was the limit. I could be whoever I wanted. I could make whatever I wanted. And that's when I started getting into hiring people and sharing my experience. And that's when I went out and, like I said, in my downline in 20 years, we installed over 75,000 homes with home security. It wasn't me who did that. I could have never done that. It was the people I brought on, and they saw the passion that I had, and they saw the experience and said, I want to be a part of that too. And it was just sharing my story, and then people were wanting to come do the same thing.
So guys, for your information, door-to-door sales is a professional career in the USA and help people to develop their community skills, their business skills, and overcome their fear, because you never know what is in the next door or what will happen in the next house or block.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm here sharing my story, but I'm really impressed, and in just a short amount of time that I've met you guys, I really am impressed with what I've seen you guys do. And hearing your guys' story, dude, I'm telling everybody about your story because I like it. I think it's awesome. And that story it should be heard. It really should. And so I'm glad that you guys actually do this podcast, because people from Latin America or people that have been there maybe don't have like that a great confidence in your English language. Do not think that you cannot do door-to-door sales and you cannot change your life for you and your family, because that is not that. You can be very successful doing this, and you guys are living proof of it. And I know that. I know that it's true, and that's what I'm excited for, because there's a lot of people that don't know about this job or this career, and being able to reach out. I'm really excited for what you guys are doing.
Thanks, Billy. So, for me, at least, I have only 2 years here learning English. I'm still making all my mistakes.
Man, that's it? Wow.
But to be honest with you guys, and to be honest with all, like learning English by doing business door to door has helped me a lot. Like not only in my grammar skill, but also in my confidence as a person. Because now I'm not afraid about anyone. Like I can show up in every single door and try to explain about product and try to sell what new homes need in the USA. So honestly, doing this as a business helped me in my communication skills. Of course, I'm not so fluent as Spanish, and I wish to, but that's only a matter of time.
Dude, that's really awesome to hear. I didn't even know. I thought it was actually you had been here for a few more years than that. That's even more that's crazy. That's awesome, man. Good for you guys. Like really, it's impressive. And why I like door-to-door sales so much is because again, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have a background. You don't need to have a certain degree or a certain knowledge to start doing this. And you said you came over to the U.S. 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Chris came over 4 years ago. And you guys have changed your lives. You guys live in a home. You guys live in a nice home. You guys have like amazing things. A lot of, like you guys are being able to provide for your families that you guys probably never imagined where you guys coming from El Salvador. In fact, I know that because I've lived there. I've been there for 3 or 4 times. So I know that being able to have this opportunity should be heard and let people know that again, if you want to learn, like you said, if you want to actually learn English and you want to be really good at that and have it as a second language, there's no better way than getting thrown right into the lion's den, and that's actually just going straight to where you have to actually speak English. You have to, and then it gets to the point where then you run into people that their second language is Spanish, but there's a lot of Spanish people in Utah. A lot. And the reason why I know that is because my fiance, she lives in Maryland. So she flies here and she's blown away at how many Mexican restaurants there are. There are so many in the state of Utah, and that should show. It's because so many people speak that language here. There's a lot of people, and so there's opportunities for everyone. And so, just if it's not even English, it's there's a lot of Spanish opportunities to be. And again, this is where I go back to, you don't have to have that knowledge. If you're knocking doors, you're going to have opportunities. And you're going to find the opportunities. You're not waiting for people to come to you. We're going and getting it. And that's what we're looking for, is hungry people who want to have theirs too and be able to change their lives and their families' lives, because it really does. And you guys are living proof, and I love seeing it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, yeah, door-to-door for us has been our way of living. As you say, like there is no other thing that has produced us so much excitement, so much money, and so much life quality style that doing door-to-door. And of course, we are very proud of what we're doing now, and we are very happy to be part of the solar industry, solar revolution. This is the new way that energy will power your home, like clean energy from the sun. So door-to-door is not an easy career. It's not. It's hard. You need a lot of motivation. You need a lot of, you need many people that support you in order to become successful. And you need to have patience to overcome all the challenges that come every single day. Like, how do you do it, Billy? How do you spend 20 years of your life being a successful door-to-door professional?
That's a good question. Doing it for 20 years, it is hard. And what the hard part about it is being rejected. And having someone say, no, what are you doing at my home? It brings that confidence down. And so what is key to being in door-to-door sales and having this as a career is support, is having a culture of people that can actually help fix. Because really the hardest part about this job is in between the 6 inches between your ears. And it goes to, okay, well, maybe what am I doing? You start doubting yourself. As humans, we doubt ourselves. We're the ones, the reason why we're not successful is because we bring ourselves down, because human nature tells us that we're doing things wrong or we're doing things not the right way, supposedly. But, what has helped me the last 20 years is having that culture, building a support system to where I'm getting people like you helping me, motivate me to show me why I'm still doing this. But then not only that, reverse and coming back to you and being able to help you guys and showing that support, saying, look, there's a lot of people that want jobs like this and want to change their lives. Let's go do that, because you are actually going to be able to motivate people. Just you and your brother alone will be able to give and keep people, or like have people new come in, stay around and be successful. And the only reason why they're successful coming in is because they have you as leaders being able to show, well, if we're doing it, anyone can do it. And that right there holds so strong for everything. And that's what it is you have those stories, you have those experiences where, hey, if someone else is doing it, I can do it. And the reason why, coming back around, the reason why I'm able to do it for 20 years is because I keep having stories where I keep bringing people in. And if they keep being able to do it, then I can keep doing it. And that's what motivates me. And the money alone, and then obviously then the money comes in, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this. So it's all about having that support system. And that's why I like what you guys are doing, because people who don't have that confidence with their language and the English language yet, or don't believe, oh, I can sell someone who whatever, someone who might have more things than you do or whatever, having you guys being able to see what you guys are doing is enough to motivate people and fire those people underneath to be able to grow and be something great. And that's why I'm excited to see what you guys are doing, because it's a story that I like to tell. I want to tell everybody, for sure.
Thank you, Bill. So you graduate as a professional sales. It was something different from what you have learned in the doors that you learned in school?
Yeah, this was in 2005, so it's been a few years, and sales has came a long way. But one of the things that I kind of realized in doing the door-to-door sales and that I didn't learn in school, was that being real and being honest is the best way to sell. Like and it's not that they didn't teach that. It's just they didn't tell me that just being myself was what I needed to do. It was like saying things a certain way or presenting a certain thing, or how to close this way, where really what it comes down to is what people want is they want to be able to trust somebody. And if they can trust somebody, they'll buy whatever, because what we're selling, solar, isn't adding a bill. It's something that they're already paying for. They're paying an electric bill and they're paying it. So what we're doing is just redirecting their payment, and instead of paying the man and paying the big boss man, the utility company, you're just paying yourself. You're putting it back on your roof. And so that's why I like this job. It's awesome. It's enough to where, being able to not have to add someone's bill, but actually lower their bill. What better product is there?
Going back to these. Going back to the topic that you need some motivation each day, like, do you have some cool stories about people that overcome rejection, that maybe English was not the main language and they have success over the time? Can you share something to us?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was, I can't even remember what year it was. It was, I feel like this was probably 15 years ago, but I was living in New York. So this is probably even longer, maybe 17 years ago. But I was living in New York, and there was a guy that from Moldova, and he couldn't, like, your guys' English is like, you guys are a lot, like this guy from Moldova, he could not speak English. And I didn't think that he would be able to do it. I was just like, there's no way this guy's going to be able to do it. Didn't know him, but he came out, he moved, he went out, he came to New York for the summertime, and we ended up living in New York selling, where the people on the northeast coast, like New York, compared to like living in Utah and like the West, they're mean. Like, they're straightforward. They tell it to your face. What are you doing? They don't care what you're doing. They just straight tell you how it is. I mean, it's just a New York style.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference. It's such a big difference.
So people in Utah are more kind.
Oh, yes.
Lovely.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, yes. So this guy has everything going against him. And so just to kind of know from him, the reason why he came over for it was a school visa, and he was going to school. And the reason why he wanted to leave, and I asked him, and I asked him this one day, was because, I mean, his dad, his uncles, his grandpa, they're all doctors. And I'm like, why don't you just stay in Moldova and be a doctor and go that route? And he's like, because they don't make any money. They're making like maybe $30,000 a year. And it's like, wow, only $30,000 a year being a doctor, where, if you're in America being a doctor, I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so that was the reason why he wanted a better opportunity. But the thing is, he couldn't speak English. So then he found out about this job where he could go door to door during, the off school year. So he chose to do it. He ended up being one of the top sales reps in that office of like 30 people. And he still, by the end, was like, his English drastically changed from that time. But why he was why he was so successful is because he chose not to care what people thought about his language. He didn't care. Like, he just went out and said, I'm the best. I'm going to go and do it. And he just went and did it. And he was such a hard worker. He didn't care about getting rejected. He didn't care about 1 or 2 days where he didn't sell. He just kept going. He ended up making over 6 figures that year. And it was mind-blowing. He made almost as much as me at that time. And I felt like my English it's all I know. Like,
with a big difference.
Yeah, and so it showed me there. That showed me that you don't have to be a man of good words and be able to speak and like be able to speak in front of thousands of people. You don't need that doing this job.
So you don't need to be eloquent. You don't need to speak a perfect language. You just need courage and
confidence. And the confidence. This is what impressed me the most is it was him by himself, and then there was 30 other people, male and female, and we were just Americans that spoke English, and that was it, and so it was just him, and so he didn't have a support system. He didn't have other people in his scenario to like kind of like hold on when he was struggling. He just went for it. And so, but the thing is in hear my words, if you were someone who wants to change your life and you want this opportunity and you want to see these two people right here, the Pena brothers, that's how you say your last name, right? Did I say it right? Pena. Sorry, I apologize. Pena. Having that as a support system and confidence is everything in this job. I've been doing this for 20 years, doing door-to-door sales, and I understand what is needed to be successful. And having that to be able to fix with your mind in your brain is everything. The courage you need because you have that. Someone's already doing it. So, yeah, I praise you guys for real.
Thank you. So, every once in a while we hear these stories about people that are trying to recruit you, that they say miracles and they say some things that could be too good for be true. Are they too good to be true, or is it true?
Yeah, I'm a straightforward person, and I've used that for the last 20 years to hire people. I tell people what it is no matter what, and people like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is not too good to be true. This is awesome. This is amazing, and it's just you never knew that this opportunity even existed. We've been doing this for 20 years, and I've had thousands of people. I would say out of the thousands and thousands of people I've hired, I have had maybe 100 Latin Americans that their English wasn't the best, and they were all extremely hard workers, and they always did very well at this job, and it was because of that.
So what is the good, the bad, and the ugliest from doing door-to-door?
I would say the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly being the head game, is learning the head game, and like having that rejection. It is tough. It really is. Even for me, it's tough. You have to like learn how to brush things off and being able to like move forward and not let it affect you personally as a human being. And if you do that, that becoming a good thing, then you start seeing the money is real. You start seeing things start happening, and it was because of your hard work. The sales, and this is something that maybe might resonate, is typically the harder the job is, you make more money, whatever. But you know, in careers or whatever, in sales, there's a reason why the money is really, really, really good. And it's because it's mentally hard, not physically hard. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. They're not willing to open up and get uncomfortable. And so the thing is the good is there's a lot of money, and that's what makes up for everything. And I actually like, for people who are wanting to come and have a better, have their English become a lot better. Like this is for real. Like this is going to help you, and it, not only that, the money's going to be there. But if you want if you want a 4-year degree in English major, come sell solar. You're going to get a 4-year degree in just 6 months, and you're going to get really good at speaking English, and it's going to gain that confidence. And so, the good part is the money's really, really good.
So, Billy, you have been working for many Latin Americans, like from different countries, maybe from different cultures, because every single country have their own culture. So, have you ever noticed something different between countries?
Yeah, I actually went 4 times to El Salvador. I was really impressed with the people there. I really was. It was not what I expected. What I was told about what type of place El Salvador was, and initially I was scared at first, but I was like, I'm gonna go surf. I'm going to beach town.
So most people are afraid of going to El Salvador, but they are like interesting. And why you choose El Salvador when you have a ton of countries, have tons of destinies that could be more attractive in a tourist way? But why you choose such a tiny country in Central America? And why do you choose El Salvador?
Yeah, well, we were looking for I'd been to Mexico like 20 different times. I mean, name a place, a city, and it's like I've been there. And it got to a point where it's like I want to try something different. We had looked into Costa Rica. I'd gone there. Costa Rica was pretty expensive, and it was like, it was awesome. It was awesome, surf town. We were looking for surf places, and I noticed, and we found this place in El Salvador, and we ran into a guy that does guiding or whatever, and he got a home out there, and he built a home in El Salvador in a surf town, and so we ended up going out there multiple times with the company I was working for, and honestly, every single person that went just fell in love with the people. The people were so kind and so amazing. It was like, I felt like a celebrity almost. People were so nice. It was crazy.
Yeah, Salvadorians will love people from all over the world, from other countries. Like we feel like very attractive to people that are not Salvadorians. I mean, in some way, I don't know why, but. So, do you enjoy your experience? Do you like pupusas? Do you like chocolate, coffee? I don't know.
Yeah, it all. I love it all. That the food is amazing there, and they love their avocados. I swear. But it's good. It's I went there a few times, like I said, and one of the things that was interesting is I don't speak any Spanish, like agua. That's all I know. But I know that's bad. But like, there were some guides that they're locals from El Salvador, and their English is not good at all. It's like it's like as bad. My Spanish is as bad as their English. I mean, it was like, but yet. Those times that I was there, I'm still really, really close friends with these people. On social media, we do the text, but it's like the text back where it changes the
translation.
The translation, and it's crazy to see how close of friends that we've become, and we don't even speak the same language, and it's just those type of people. And that was why I just loved it. It's like I could be friends and not even speak English. It's so crazy. The El Salvadorians are freaking awesome.
So, would you recommend to every single tourist around the world to visit El Salvador?
Absolutely. I absolutely. Now, I only went to the surf towns and traveled along the coastlines and stuff. But absolutely, it's a beautiful place. The people are amazing, and you get that it's definitely it's different than America. And having that experience, and the waves are awesome. The water's warm. I love it.
So working with the Hispanic communities, how it is different? Do you like their commitment to work? Most people from Latin America doesn't have any fear of doing door to door because they haven't experienced yet. So they do not know what to expect.
Yeah.
Do you like working with Latin Americans?
I do. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. Did we kind of kick it off as pretty good friends already, like at a quick time?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that should be the answer. It's like for some reason I've my whole life. Even I served a Mormon mission. I went to Nebraska, and I gravitated to Latin Americans, even not even speaking the language. It's just I don't know, something about Latin Americans, their commitment to hard work, I love, and I love their family care and how they care about family, and that because that means a lot to me. And so it just I don't know. It seems like I've come together with a culture that it just seems like it was supposed to be or something. I don't know. It just feels like it's great friends, and I love it.
I see your social media and you are an extreme guy. Like you love sports in snow, like hunting. You like surfing. You like all kinds of extreme sport. That's incredible. I do not know how to surf, and I came from El Salvador. I am ashamed. I don't know how to surf.
Yeah.
But how do you do? How do you manage your time, your sports, your family, your business? How do you do that?
Yeah. So I actually it's interesting. So I was always into snowboarding and stuff growing up, and and into the mountains. I really loved that. But I only went in the mountains to snowboard. I never did it in the summertime, I never went in the mountains growing up. And I don't know if it was just the family, whatever. But it wasn't until about 10 years ago I went on a hike, which is crazy. I've lived in Utah my whole life. I mean, I've lived in different states and stuff, but I grew up in Utah. And I went on a hike that was at, close to 11,000 feet with one of my really good friends. And when I was up in the mountains, I remember yelling, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I am so mad at myself. I am so mad at myself that I've never took advantage of what Utah has to offer in the mountains and being in the mountains." And because I'd only snowboard a ton in the wintertime. And it was there where I committed to myself, and I told my friend, and he even says a story. He's like, and I tell him, I'm like, from this day forward, I am a true mountain man, and I'm not going to waste my time being out in the mountains because it brought me so much peace. And there's something about the mountains that soothes the soul for me. It really does. All the chaos that happens in your daily life with work, family, personal things, whatever. And I realized that it was like therapy. It was therapeutic for me to be out in the mountains, and I felt like I could recharge. And so it was from that day forward. I mean, that's when I got into archery, and I started big game hunting, and I've killed some really good animals, and I've really put a lot of time into the mountains. And not only that, the snowboarding to splitboarding, where I'm hiking, doing crazy things in the mountains. And the reason why I've turned to becoming a mountain man is it resets myself, and it gives me enough time where I can get back and start grinding again to be that person. And I feel that there's a balance, because if you don't have a balance in life, then things come crashing. And I've had those things when I didn't, separate work, family, mountains, my own personal things. And so I realized to have now I'm 42, and now being in door-to-door sales for, the 20 plus years I've realized that I needed something to refresh myself and to give me that me time. And that became the mountains. Yeah.
That's very inspirational. So remember, people, if you want some peace of mind, just go hiking, visit the mountains, find yourself a sport or something to do to refresh yourself and to, I don't know, like give some energy that you really need. So, Billy, we are in our last minute. So, do you want to share some advice to our community?
Yeah, I the advice that I would give is please don't take your language as a barrier to stop you from what your dreams are to be. Dream big, and if you stop dreaming and believing that you're better than what you have right now, then that's when that's when life isn't fun anymore. And so I would highly recommend for everyone who's listening that if you want better for your life or your family, start believing, start dreaming, and start doing things that are super uncomfortable. Super uncomfortable. Because if you don't, then you're never going to change. The only way to change is to get uncomfortable. So put yourself out there. Make sure that you get really, really uncomfortable, because that's the only time you grow.
Because when you feel very comfortable, nothing happens.
Stagnant.
You're stagnant. Your life is the same. Nothing happens.
Yeah, and that's when depression comes in, anxiety, stress, and that's kind of like those things, is changing things up. I go in the mountains and I do super uncomfortable things because it helps me grow. It helps push me, and I feel that now, being in my, getting closer to the middle part of my life in age, I'm seeing that really I find more enjoyment when I really make myself uncomfortable. When I put myself out there and I have to be in uncomfortable situations. And that's the reason why I chose to switch careers from security to solar. I wanted to get uncomfortable. I was getting to become stagnant. And there's so much money in solar. And that's why I chose to switch over to start doing this. Because it's life changing. It really is.
So you can have a really normal life, like with the same expectation month to month, with the security systems, but you change to solar. So you are learning a new product. We will say you are learning a new company. You are learning like how to deal with the solar industry in general. So that makes you uncomfortable, and that's mean that in the near future you're going to overcome that and be successful as well in the solar industry.
Absolutely. I know that I'm going to absolutely kill it in the solar industry, in this business that we're in. And the reason why, again, is we solar is that next thing. People are wanting to get solar, and it's a gold rush. Where everyone's, it really is. The solar game is a gold rush to where people are getting, and once you get it, you get it. Then you can't get it again. It's like once you get solar, and so it's like first come, first serve. And it's like, I want to be that person, because where our economy is going, where they're wanting to, energy savings programs and going solar, that's where everyone's going. And so I'm excited to be a part of a market that's like this, because I wasn't that when I was with security.
And solar is the future. Like we see in electrical vehicles, we see in the clean environment solutions. So solar is the real future, and that's, as you say, is a gold rush. This is the momentum. It's the best time to be in the solar industry.
Absolutely. It's it's an amazing time, and I want to take part of it, and I want to. It excites me to see. My biggest thing, and what kind of like your why factors. You have why factors in why you do things. My why factor, what gets me going, is bringing someone who has never done this type of job, and it's seeing their life change completely. And you guys know that because your guys' lives have changed. Those are things that motivate me why I do this job, because this job is that, and it's so real. Now, the hard thing about my job is I can't control what that person is. I can't control that person's a hard worker. I can't control that person's commitment. That's the only thing that's hard, is I can't have control in that, but I can try and find people who are like that, who are committed and who are hardworking and who are willing to do whatever it takes. And those are the people I'm looking for.
Thank you so much, Billy, to be with us this day. And we appreciate your time, and we appreciate your advice and your motivation and your energy. We really like you. You are a friend of us, and we feel very proud about about you and what you have been sharing in this podcast. Thank you so much, guys. Gracias por vernos en este día y esperamos que puedan seguir en sintonía con nosotros cada miércoles con un episodio nuevo. Este día esperamos que puedan disfrutarlo, que puedan disfrutar y que vean las lecciones de vida de nuestro amigo. Do you want to say something?
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate being able to be on here, and this is the real deal. You guys are the real deal, and anyone who's listening, if you want to change your lives, this is where you need to go, and you need to reach out to both of you guys because you guys have built something amazing, and it's going to continue growing.
Thank you so much, and see you until the next episode of America Expuesta.
This is America Expuesta. America Expuesta. With Josue and Christopher Peña. Welcome to another episode.